welcome to the stream. Wow, my hair is my hair. What can I say? Whew. I'm Chen Schiffer, and it is a balmy 88 degrees outside here in Jersey City, New Jersey, USA, North America, Earth, the Milky Way galaxy. I hope folks are having a nice time today. If not, maybe me spiraling in the form of downloading many files that span many years ago will help you and give you a break. What we're doing today is the 7th installation of Glitch and Gabbo, where I'm migrating apps off of glitch.com. 7th episode, 7 inches from the midday sun. That's right, Marty. Welcome back. How you doing? So let's see. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with a very quick stretch because I just spent the last hour migrating my candles shop, Bugs Rocked Online, from a static HTML page to an 11D app. So I've been sitting, let's loosen our shoulders. So we're going to start by doing 10 back circles with our shoulders. Just really get the movement in there. And then we're going to reverse the circles, move forward. I wish that this is what we did when we walked. I had aerial yoga last night, and I told y'all yesterday I was going to kick my ass, and I was right. We're going to release our neck muscles, so hand, opposite side of head, and gently stretch. And breathe while you're stretching. You should feel this here. Relax your shoulder down, but don't pull it. We're trying to stretch, not rip our muscles. You just got your butt kicked on the exercise bike. I'm getting my butt kicked by the heat. You should switch to the other side. Okay, let's shake our head. No. And then yes. I hate that the Mastodon web app, when I use the head shaking emoji, it just shows a face and then the arrow pointing emoji and not the actual one. I wish there was better support for that. Okay, we're going to put our hands together and just actively try to reach for the sky, but keep your spine straight. You want to be how can I get my arms to rip off of my body and go straight into the sun so that I can put it out like a light on a candle so that it's not as warm outside. Whew. Palius, welcome. Thanks for joining the live and catching the replays. Okay, let's just shake it out. We're just getting ready. Okay. Oh, and then hand stretches. I did this one yesterday. This is an aerial. Anything that requires grip strength, but also just working muscles in your hands is important if you're typing for a long time. So you're going to put your hands out straight like this, straight with your shoulders. And you're going to, in rapid succession, open, close fist. We're going to do that a whole bunch of times. This is going to burn the forearms. This is what it looks like. Will be good for when you're pulling things, making your hands strong. These are our money makers, baby. Woo. And then shake that out. Woo. This will burn right there. It's always just a good thing to do. I got one of these, ooh, I almost spilled my tea everywhere. I have one of these gyroscope ball things that, like, you spin it and then you try to make it really go and it, like, works the whole forearm. I do a lot of pulling up. Anyway, aerial yoga last night was really good. I was dreading it all day because I knew it was going to kick my ass, and it did. But I showed up, and I did a great job. We're going to close out stretches before we enter the computer with a drink of water. I have my half iced tea, half lemonade flavored water. In my chug glass. Someone asked the other day, like, how big the glass is. This is 33.8 ounces. I like to carry a big glass of water around me. And then an almond milk ice latte. I go back to aerial yoga tonight, but there's different teachers each day. So today's teacher is perfect for a Thursday. It's like challenging, but there's an inversion where you hang upside down like a bat. The Wednesday class, she never has this hang upside down. It's a very like strength training. This teacher on Thursdays, she has an interpretive dance background. So there's a lot of like movement and flow and then like hanging upside down, which I like. Okay. Let's get into the computer. Boom. Welcome to the computer. So this is my editor with jenschiffer.com open, and I have a glitch page where I am going to be listing the apps the static apps that I moved to here. Last we finished yesterday. My notes here say June 5th, start with July of 2021. Okay, let's do that. So what we're going to do here, if you're watching the replay or you're in the chat and you're new to this, glitch.com is a platform that I worked on for almost 8 years. I left in September of last year. We got acquired in 2022, so it's part of Fastly. And July 8th is when they'll be winding operations down, essentially. So I have projects that date back to 2017 that I'm going through all of them in my dashboard to see what they are, and to see if I need to migrate them to my site, or if you can move them to, if I have to open up like a node server somewhere. Pally says hi if you're watching the replay like a loser. Hey now. Don't get down on yourself. We love all watchers, whether you can catch me or not live. I love it. I know Pally says this is your first time not having to watch the replay. I always wondered if people watch the replay of these. I wonder how particularly interesting it is when you're not there present with me. I think the royalty-free pop-punk music playlist probably helps make it a little bit more entertaining. But yeah. So, we have a July 8th deadline to get the projects that I want to keep live and visitable, to move them somewhere. But there's lots of projects here I don't need. And in fact, you have until the end of the year to download your projects. Like, this page will be available, but like user profiles and stuff won't. And we can set redirects if we move these pages elsewhere. You can create a redirect and move it to wherever for example, make 8-bit art, if you go to make 8bitart.glitch.me going forward, I'm sending the redirect to make8bitart.com, which is what the domain's always been, but now we have redirects. It would have been the one thing that we had thought years ago, and then we were like, that's never going to happen. There's too much we got to do. One was like, oh, if you have a custom domain, set a redirect for it. Well, we never got to it, but the team banged this out really quickly, so shouts out. But yeah, we've been through a whole bunch of apps. Don't be deceived by the page number. I did archive a bunch of stuff, but we are at July 2021. Okay, let's paint a picture. What was in July 2021? So, the first half of 2021 was when conversations really first started getting started about finding a new home for Glitch. And so it's like, this is where the state of uncertainty for all of us were. A lot of people left in January and February, and then a lot of people joined in like January, February, March, April. Maybe it was like March, April, June. I'm not sure. I don't know if Casey, if you're in the chat, when did she start at Glitch? But yeah, it was like a lot of like, it was like a vibe shift, if you will. Wow, look at my bicep. I'm telling you, this Aerial Wednesday class is gonna make me shredded by the end of the summer. So yeah, we got the new. We were doing a lot between January and July, operationally, internally in the company, and not user facing. But like one thing that we knew we can do to be user facing in that time, that wasn't a huge lift on like backend development, was more like client side related stuff, community stuff. So new starter apps. Let's look at these blogs. So we have new starters. The starters that you see today. We had there's a SQLite starter base. SQL we always had. We made a DataStax starter, Astra, with the DataStax folks. The blank apps, which I had to fight a little bit for. Our starters are beautiful, and I know that there's a utility for them being as nice looking and as feature rich as they were. I can start from a blank page, and in fact, I'll probably prefer that. But that's because I'm an experienced software developer. Like, I know I have my like wants and my behaviors and how I like the scaffolding in my mind. Like, I'm very particular about how I start a thing. And so our starters were opinionated because a large part of our community needed an opinionated starter. But I was like, me and some other folks, we come with our own opinions. And so that's the utility of the blank starters. Okay. So what I'm going to do, as I've done in the past iterations, is I'm going to open up a bunch of these and see what they are. So let's rock. Oh, this is funny. Okay, starter React. They're still sanding things outside my building. I was just telling Andy this morning, I was like, oh, well, at least they're done sanding whatever it is that they need to sand. And then around noon, the sanding began. Okay, what did I edit here? Okay, this is me importing or working on... I mentioned that I did the early version of Glitch in Bio, and it was going to be a partnership with DataStax. We're going to do like a stream building it, and then never came into fruition. So there's going to be a bunch of like me working with Astra, which is DataStax database management system. But like, I like don't need to save them. This is their... This is another Astra. This is... I streamed with True Narla. She's got like... She's great. She's working at Discord and some like AI place, I think. I forget. She's got a pretty popular TikTok page. She's got a good following. She posts funny stuff, and she invited me on her stream. And back then, I had a horrible internet connection and shitty microphone. I sounded like shit on the stream. And but she was like, "What can we pair together with on Glitch?" And I was like, "Let's recreate that one embroidery website where the text just keeps getting bigger and bigger." And so we did that on the stream. We like copied some of the stuff. And well, actually, I don't know if y'all remember this, but if leaf blowing in your neighborhood doesn't put you into a mental breakdown, then maybe this page will, Palace. So this is Old Sewing in Canada page. And they did something where, like, they were not closing their header tags. And it was causing the page to increasingly get ginormous in nature. And it goes for quite a bit of time. But... They updated the page to fix it. Well, they got rid of the page, but their site has been updated. But you can always go back to the old days. But yeah, so we were recreating that. We were writing out, this is like live on a Twitch stream, writing out how we wanted to do it. I think this is my first time using, I guess like VS Code had in like beta, like it barely worked for us, but it had just come out, the like multi-user like live editor kind of deal, which was interesting. I'm sure it works better now. Again, this is like 4 years ago, almost exactly. But yeah, good times. So this is us recreating that. And we did using JavaScript, but with selectors. So everything after something, increasing that. Marty says, it reflects the overwhelm I feel the deeper I get into troubleshooting. But yeah, it was a great page. I am going to download this for, I'm gonna put this as an archive. Oh no. Reopen. Foam Delicate Jonquil. And if you're not familiar with the glitch interface, rewind is the visual get display. So for some of these, I am like, I don't know if I ever edited them. If I open them and find an image of me surfing a Dorito, because that's my user avatar, I can see what files were edited in the last commit. So, this, I don't know what I was doing. Oh, you know what I was doing? We launched the ability to boost projects. This is our, like, we launched our paid subscription. And so I was updating the readmes and stuff. Fun. I remember, okay, when Glitch announced that they were shutting down project hosting, people this day in the forum are like, why are they doing this? And it's to save money. Like, Fastly doesn't want to invest money in Glitch, like, full stop, because, like, project hosting is, like, the most expensive part of Glitch. They obviously want to save that money. They're an enterprise company. They have other things to invest in. And so an easy way to save money and not piss off their enterprise customers is to shut down Glitch project hosting. Those are not enterprise customers. So they're saving money. And one thing someone had said was like, please, can you just charge more for hosting? Like, don't make it go away, just charge us more. Take more of our money. When we launched Glitch Pro, people were like, please don't charge for hosting. Like, sell t-shirts. I remember being like, can't you just sell t-shirts? Can't you just sell merch? And I'm not, like, mad at that. It just kind of shows the, like, the business acumen and maybe like the age level of like the people who were the loudest whenever that stuff launched. But it's something I think about is like project hosts was shut down and those people were like, just charge us more. And just like the implication that these things weren't like thought of or discussed, like, is very interesting. If I could run Glitch and pay for it selling t-shirts, that would be the dream. Hell, I'm trying to like I'm so close to starting to sell candles, and it would be a dream to just like be able to cover like my health insurance premiums. That's like one of my like early goals. But yeah, we're gonna archive that. I'm gonna avoid going on tangents, which is not true. I'm not going to avoid that. This is just a remix of Make Apid Art. The merch mob helped me tip me over to sign up for Glitch Pro as a no-brainer for an easy way to show support. And we appreciate that. We appreciate that. Also, it was a good value. But you pay like, if not for the year, $10 a month, and you can have up to five full stack apps alive, like awake. Also, no rate limiting across any of your projects. And also in Glitch Pro, we introduced idea static sites, and static sites would always be awake. So it was like a really good deal. I'm not just saying that because I was involved in it, but this is a remix of my old website. We're gonna archive that. I already have an link of that. Courageous marked vase. The thing about speaking about like glitch merch, what was I doing here? I must have been teaching people how to define strings in JavaScript. Whatever. Okay, merch. Glitch merch. We had stickers. I would send stickers out. I was mailing all the stickers. I was paying for the stamps too, because it's just easier than trying to procure them otherwise. We were a tiny team. When we got acquired, there was like 12 of us. And right now, number of people working on glitch, there's 4 engineers. I'd say like 7 people. So it's hard to like keep operations going, keep the hosting going, and also like design, create, and sell merchandise. Then there's internal merch. The glitch merch, I thought, for how nice the design of glitch is, we never really quite got good like internal merch that gave the branding justice. Like, we've had one glitch shirt internally only, and I wore it once for an event. I don't know. They're just, you know what glitch merch I really liked? But even then, I'll show you this. For one onsite, 2019, we got crayons. Because you can, like, buy custom Crayola crayon boxes. And so our then office manager, our ops lead, Jess, did a really great job of, like, curating what colors. There's some metallics and stuff. But let me close this properly. The problem with this box, though, besides the difficult, I use these crayons, by the way, is like, it says glitch, and those are like based off of tunes that we had, like illustrations we had on the site, but it just like doesn't look like the glitch brand. It says glitch. Even like the font is like not glitch. So it just happens to say glitch on it, and it was made for us internally, but my dream was trying to see if I have other glitch stuff here. Like, we never had plushies of the fish. That would have been cute. We had fanny packs for an XOXO event that we had done. That we made for non-glitch people. But, yeah. Okay, let me get back on track here. What I would say is, if we got into making glitch merch, which would have been nice, we would have wanted to, I feel like, hire someone to actually do it. Importing the zip file. Okay, this is a tutorial I made. I can tell because this used to be my Firefox background. It was a glitch-inspired theme. So I was... Okay, so there was no way... There used to be no way to take an app that you had on your computer and put it into glitch in an easy way. Like, you couldn't just drag a folder. You can do that now. So what you could do, though, was if you made a zip file of your app folder on your machine, so I show you how to do that, And then I say drag it into assets, get the URL, open up the terminal in the editor, run wget to get that the asset URL, and then unzip it, change the folder name, and then like your app is, and then you type in refresh. Clearly this is an early iteration of me building this tutorial because every instruction is wow. That's fun. And this is an ESLint config. Me and Tasha are working on that to help somebody out, because ESLint is what was used here, but users were like, I don't like the default rules that y'all have set, so I showed them how to make an ESLint rc.json file. I'm going to download this into tool to care, and then ESLint rc as well. I'm going to archive that. I'll keep ESLint config. I don't know, in case somebody needs it between now and July 8th. We're hitting almost a month until the shutdown. This reminds me of the time I wrote Tiny API on the flying glitch and at a conference to save people's contact information after scanning their QR code via card. It felt so powerful. That's great. You know, one of the thing after we launched Glitch, Anil and I both like went on like a little like tour to different conferences, and the thing I was telling people was like the ability to like we talked about aha moments. Like you have a moment you're like, oh, I'm gonna like I have an idea, and to be able to just like immediately have an idea and like see it start running in front of you without having to like learn how to do DevOps, learn how to get a website on the internet, or even just go through all the steps that it takes to do that, like was like a magical feeling, especially back then. It still kind of is now, because the other thing about Glitch is we never required you to enter a credit card, which was actually when Fastly acquired us, that was a very like controversial thing. I think a lot of people think, well, if you require a credit card, you'll avoid abuse. And that is just categorically untrue. Scammers, phishing, all that stuff, these are like multi-billion-dollar industries. like scammers have money. They just want more money. Scammers aren't like don't have any money and they're trying to get a little bit of money. There are people that have they're like maybe the people who are actually making the phishing sites or making the scam sites are not rich, but they're working for like rich people. So it was always important that we never require a credit card, and also for Glitch we let you create apps before even logging in, and those sites would expire after a couple of days. But like we would sometimes see anonymous sites that were phishing sites, but not really all that often, because the scammers knew, well, if the site expires in 5 days, we're just wasting our time. Like, we'll just make a login. When Adafruit launched the Pi portal, it kept pushing us to do guides on using Glitch to set up tiny APIs and a tiny Python powered screens. Very powerful. Shouts out Adafruit. I love Adafruit. I wish I had my macro pad by me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go get it. One sec. Macro pad and keys with the glitch fish. This is one of my favorite glitch stickers. When we were working on preview.glitch.com, which is still live, the new glitch, I wanted the black outline fish to be the new like branding. It was hard because the icons would be too small, but we kind of were working towards a glitch where people can like customize their profiles, a la like MySpace, Zanga, LiveJournal. And so having the logo be kind of frills. Here's my macro pad. And look, Adafruit sold glitch keep keys. So we got this in December 2021. This is like there are not many of us still at the company, and we each got one of these for Christmas. Mine, actually, I did my macro pad code is here on Glitch. I showed this in a past stream, so I already have this downloaded. This is just because Andy's got one too, and we were sharing our code for it. I haven't updated in a while, but I was testing out what I have it doing. I have a calculator, a numpad, and like whatever it was is toggled by the knob. I also think I think this is screwed on this is supposed to be the inside, but I made it the outside because it is cool. The drawing that was like sent into space, they took the genitals off of and the nipples off of the two humans because it would have offended people's sensibilities. So I kind of like the idea that the aliens came down and they saw that in fact we had vaginas, penises, and nipples, and were like, this must not be the planet we're looking for, and then they left us. That's my take on that whole thing, but I love that it comes on that. And the colors, Andy gave me a bunch of these colors, and then I have the two glitch keys, and then one from a friend. Okay, cool. The PCB. I figured it was reversible. I had it like this, and someone's like, "You did it the wrong way," and I was like, "I don't think there's a wrong way. If there was a wrong way, then it wouldn't have worked." But yeah, I would like to get back into using this and programming it so I could use it to change scenes on Streamlabs, because I had the Stream Deck years ago when I was doing Koopastank 2, and it died. It didn't even last a whole year, and I was like, well, I'm not buying another one. It's really just like a keypad. But yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Oh gosh, okay. Where am I at? Okay. So... what? Where am I? Where am I, guys? Maybe last edited? Okay, there we go. I lost myself. Okay. Shfunny 1. June. What's going on in June? What do we miss simple? This seems like an Anil blog. Yep. Sometimes Anil is like, I just want to blog. And he did. Let's see. Just looking at what was going on Glitch at the time. Good stuff. Okay. June. Perfect. Young tennis. Is perfect a word in friendly words? You know what the best part of Aerial Yoga was last night? When I came home and Andy ordered us Taco Bell. I know why I was just thinking about it. I was like, wow, remember when I had Taco Bell last night? I don't think this is anything I've updated. And then I had a leftover taco for breakfast today. What did Tasha edit here? Okay. I guess we're just editing stuff. So we had launched the new starters in July, and so June's going to be a lot of remixing and testing of those new starters. Remember, we're going back in time. So we had 11T, React, the starters that you see today, essentially. You don't think Taco Bell is really big in Vancouver? Never been. I was vegan in, I guess, like most of my adult life. And so Taco Bell was like the only good fast food place to get vegan food. Nowadays, like, I think like McDonald's and Burger King have like Impossible Burgers or whatever. But I am allergic to coconut oil, so I can eat those. But Taco Bell is good. Now, if you've never been to Taco Bell, you probably hear like people being like, "Oh, Taco Bell is gonna give you the runs, gonna make you shit your pants, whatever." I think like there's this weird kind of, I don't know. Taco Bell, I've never had an issue with Taco Bell. Like, maybe like I'm not built like a fucking baby, but anybody who's like is like, "Oh, Taco Bell is bad because it makes you shit yourself." Like, you should go to a doctor, cuz I don't think that's a Taco Bell problem. I think that's like a you problem. But yeah. Oh, we're talking about Taco Bell Cantina. We did have a New York one. That's just a Taco Bell with booze, right? Yeah, that one's not Cantina anymore. I remember walking by it. That's the one that is like near the river. At least one of them was. I've never been inside of it. Okay, MVP React, MVP website. These are the baby versions of the site. They used to be called MVP, and then we remixed and called them blank. So these are my starters. I'm gonna download that. Your colleagues keep mentioning Baja Blue. Yeah, the Baja Blast drink is like a light bluish turquoise color. My buddy Adam his house is adjacent to a Taco Bell. And that's fun. I'm gonna put these in starters. That's what I'm doing. MVP website. Taco Bell is absolute top tier vegetarian road food for folks who eat dairy. The 7-layer burrito. Yeah. Andy orders for me. And I think he got me a crunch wrap. I eat dairy now, so, but not meat. But it's really good. Although it's like this. I'm like, am I supposed to eat this with a fork and knife? Like, when it's like this, I'm like, that's like a fork and knife kind of thing. Because, like, I'll eat it, and it, like, gets kind of all over. But that's a me problem. I'm not going to be like, Taco Bell is messy, I'll get food all around. I'll make a shit. It's not how it works. Chatbots. Node glitch. So this is probably private because this is a... I maybe was helping somebody out with something here. I'm gonna archive that. Node glitch. Oh, this is an app that we use for support. It would list all the versions of Node that are on the glitch server. Unfortunately, sorted by string and not the version number. But when people say, like, what versions of Node are on glitch, this is a remix of a community member who made this app, but they spelled versions wrong. and I was sharing it, and someone's like, you spelled versions wrong. And I'm like, actually, I didn't. A community member did. And so I just remixed it to fix the spelling so that people would stop yelling at me. I don't know if any of you remember when I got the year wrong in the February newsletter. I believe it was February of 2023. And so many people replied. Actually, yeah, one person... So I did the monthly newsletter. I was like, oh, it's February 2022. And someone's like, oh, it's 2023. Blah, blah, blah. And they're right. Like, I had the wrong date. But also, like, who fucking cares? Somebody replied, how could such a big company make such a huge mistake? And I might have replied to them saying, like, relax. Like, I don't know. It was very... You know, there's this weird perception that anything related to, like, marketing and content, it's like, oh, if you did it right, oh, like, the intern, like, did it. And it's, like, not an intern, it's, like, a full-time employee. But then if they, like, make a mistake, it's like, how could you even make such a huge mistake? Like, oh, no, the intern's getting fired. There's just, like, weird perception of who's, like, behind the scenes doing stuff. And yeah, so it was so, like, I would send like this app with versions misspelled, and people were like, what's wrong with you? That's not how you spell versions. And I'm like, you asked me how many what versions of Node are on the server. Like, ignore this part. But they couldn't. So that's why this app exists. Oh my gosh. Too old to care. Wrong year typos are back in the discourse once again. Time is a flat circle. Clearly. I'm still writing 1989 on my checks. Nothing here. Okay. Okay, this is the... I think this is the first prototype for Glitch in Bio. Yes, this is it. I remixed Hello website, and I put links here, and the idea was that you just use a CSV. The team took it and turned it into a Vue app, which is great. Glitch in Bio is great. But I was like, what if... I started off with a very simpler thing, and I love CSVs. I love spreadsheets. I'm a spreadsheets bitch. I should have worn my spreadsheets hat. So the original Glitch in Bio, you would edit a CSV, comma separated values. And then a new one was updating a JSON file. But overall, a fruitful project. This is going in starters. Yeah. Plant. Oh, I already did that. Protective. This is a import from Git. I almost picked up my microphone to drink. Oh yeah, this is me just like trying out Astra. Boring. Oh, friendly emoji. Friendly emoji is an app. This is older than 2021. This is just only last edited in 2021. This is an npm package that I made to get you random emoji. You might, if you ever exported to GitHub and saw that the glitch commit messages had random emoji, that's kind of where it started from. And so this hasn't been edited in a while, so it needs some new emoji. But the point was, we can't just use any emoji because some of them are not friendly. Just like with our friendly words package. So I made this so that we can take out things like the cop emoji. We didn't want that in there. The knife emoji. Stuff like that. This will... Am I out of pop punk music? Let's see. I'm gonna... Royalty-free alternative rock music instrumental. Let's try that for a while. Okay, here we are. We have friendly emoji. Okay. We do need to add more emoji to this. We last published it 4 years ago. There's Casey, Corey, and I. This... I'm gonna have to edit this. Friendly words. Okay, so I am going to have to edit this. Let me pin this. Gonna have to do something with this soon because I set the repository to the glitch app because you can do that. Aerial tramway friendly? I don't know if any of you are from New York. Roosevelt Island, there's a tram that can take you there, and people who live on the island have had a hard time using the tram to commute to work because of tourists using the tram, because it's literally like tram in the air flying over into Manhattan, and it's a great view. So the tourists have found out about it. I thought there's always been tourists on the tram, but I guess like the news has now been covering the locals being mad that not just that the tourists are using it, but the tourists are being rude and getting in on it, and there's no like separate line for tourists versus like people who actually use the tram to like get to work. I'm glad it's a problem I don't actually have as someone who's neither a New York tourist nor somebody who lives on Roosevelt Island. I actually don't even know what Roosevelt Island is like to live on. I rarely go there. It sounds like if your commute involves taking a tram, that sounds rich to me. And I don't have the energy to empathize with rich people with peace and love. We'll figure out. Friendly emoji is definitely going to have to be migrated. Anyway, hi Potch. How are you doing? Ooh. I want to make sure the music's not too loud. Okay. Anyway, friendly emojis from a long time ago, but we last updated 4 years ago. Working on friendly emoji update. So this is a remix of friendly emoji. You could probably just close that. Old. Scrap. Whatever. Archive. Starter lit. Oh man, the lit element components. These are running. These are old, like pre-static app. So they're using a very old version of Node, because they are old. Because remember, glitch used to all glitch apps used to all be Node apps, and then we introduced static. Patch is doing okay. Tried briefly to get switched to, but I didn't want it hard enough. Oh my gosh, Andy told me that there's a GameStop. I didn't look this up to corroborate, but Andy said that there's a GameStop on Staten Island where they were stapling the receipt to the boxes, and the staple was piercing the screen, and they like fucked up a bunch of Switch 2s. I haven't looked it up. Actually, let's look it up together. Staten Island Switch 2 GameStop. Because I was like, oh yes, there we go. Staten Island GameStop stapler receipts the Switch and puncture the screens because Nintendo boxed them in the weirdest way possible. When he told me that, when he was like, oh, they like the staple went through the screen, broke them, I'm like, why was the staple able to make it to a screen? Like, are they using like those 1-inch super thick like wall staples? Like, I don't know, is there like an image? It is deeply Staten Island behavior. Why are we embedding tweets in 2025? Yahoo Tech. Is this like, oh, it's Kotaku. Was weird. Yahoo Entertainment embedding a Kotaku URL? How did they box it? Holy shit. They literally just like had the lid over that? That's crazy. The screen stapler employee is unfortunately the first person of the internet today. That's insane. Well, they must have unboxed one of them and noticed. That's wild. Anyway, shouts out Long Island. Staten Island. Andy's just coming around. I looked up the GameStop staple thing. You said it's real, and Kotaku had a picture of the unboxing, and like the screen is just right up front, and it's a regular corrugated box, so there's like nothing between the screen. That's like such an insane way to box it. Damn. Posh said, unfortunately for that GameStop employee, nothing else hilarious or pathetic is happening. Yeah, not like Elon Musk tweeting that Trump was in the Epstein papers or anything like that. What a wacky fucking day on the internet.
I don't know any of that.
Puma Greg has no idea how that Elon and Trump are posting against each other. Crazy shit. What a dream. Puma's getting his after dinner treats right now. Okay. Lit is starter I made Punt Evening Genocide Try Out Lit HTML and Lit Element. This is that project. And it works. This we're in Webpack territory. This is where, like, if you've never used Webpack before, is Webpack even still a thing? It's gotta be. Who are the sponsors of Webpack? Sometimes when I go to these pages and I look on their sponsors, it used to be just like major companies, but then it became like all like betting companies because this is like a good way for like casinos to like get their ads in. Is all I gotta do is sponsor a few dollars cash. You see like Casino Revisor, Turtle Bet. Like these are not developers. These are just casino sites getting their spam on it. But then Webpack gets money. V is now Parcel. Webpack was interesting because people would ask me, I use Webpack a lot, and people would be like, oh, how do I do this Webpack? And I'm like, I'm sorry, every time I'm doing the config for Webpack, I black out and I never remember. I can never just like internalize. The H in Webpack stands for happiness. That's good. Anyway, this is like a starter. I don't know, do we still use... Does lit still exist? I should just keep lit element. Are we still updating it? Published 2 months ago. 420 blaze it. Oh no, Lit 3.0 dropped support for IE 11. Oh no. Oh, they're now on Blue Sky. I think that what it enabled me to do is just components. It's just like, I want to write HTML, but I want a ton of JavaScript around it first. And there you go. Custom heading. It's whatever. The Glitch DevRel guide. This is a landing page that we made. This is from like maybe like Fog Creek era. Oh, it fucking redirects. Oh god. Where is it? Oh, it uses Pug. Isn't that cute? God, what a web we've woven. How is it redirecting? Is there a meta refresh? Yes. Oh, I fucking did it. I'm like, who set the redirect? Added by Jen. June 2022. Let's delete that. How? There we go. It was like just a landing page for if you want to use Glitch for DevRel. Marty says Liz's pretty great. Makes it easy to write web components if the vanilla way feels boilerplate. Someone from the core team introduced me to Lit, and I liked it, and that's why I made the starter. But I never saw any real adoption from the community on it. Anyway, this is, oh my god, does this guide still exist? Oh, there we go. This is a PDF because this is like a professional like thing, I guess. I don't know. I didn't make it. Where we just like made a guide on how to like use Glitch for DevRel. Remember our hand raise feature? I love that feature. I fought hard to keep it, and I lost that fight. Someone's like, one of the people who fought to get rid of it was like, let it go. I'll never let it go. I'll never fucking let it go. There's just examples. Sean Larkin from the Webpack team. These images are... trying to see if I can find any other people I recognize. Anyway, PDF. This is like too old to care. Get import button. This is a tool so that you can make you can import any public app on GitHub into Glitch. And so this is the URL. This is actually what powers the glitch.new like shortcut for GitHub. So if you had a GitHub repo and you wanted to have it, you wanted to have a button in the README in the GitHub repo that when you click it, it would import into Glitch. Like, GitHub repo name, GitHub org name. Oh, okay, so it was like Jen Schiffer, make 8-bit art. It would generate this remix this button, and just like the URL is just the repo. Not sure what this text file is. Murder Miss 2 Hub. Whatever. Glitch is so haunted, actually. But that's a story for another day that only impacts me. Some of my Glitch apps were haunted. Where'd that go? This isn't too old to care. This is a remix of an app that had gone viral for an event in Japan. You can archive that. Patch, how to use the web for DevRel, a PDF. What was funny was we had that PDF had to be updated with the new Glitch branding. And I was like, I am a web developer and marketer. I am not a PDF file editor. I'm very good at knowing what's my lane and not, and also getting out of my comfort zone, but downloading a PDF, because nobody knew where the original was. I was like, how do you even fucking edit a PDF? Why is this a PDF? So I think we just decided to make the features page and get rid of that. Gusty Sleet Cellar is nothing. Calm, peaceful. Oh, this is me working on a svelte. Remix for a Clubhouse story. Okay, Clubhouse is Clubhouse is not okay. Clubhouse was our internal feature ticketing project management tool, and they renamed themselves because the Andreessen Horowitz folks came out with that stupid audio chat thing, Clubhouse. So the Clubhouse we were using, so I remixed something so I can file a ticket internally, and the system's called Clubhouse. And then they renamed. Was it Clubhouse renamed? Shortcut. Yeah. Clubhouse is a good name. Well, it was a good name because it's not going to be our name anymore. For many of you, the reason for this is probably pretty obvious. The Clubhouse audio app became so big so fast that we couldn't possibly hope forever to maintain our own brand standing in the face of their popularity. Well, who's fucking using Clubhouse today? I don't know. Maybe just Mark Andreessen? I don't know. But they like completely renamed. and rebranded Shortcut. They didn't change anything except the name and the logo. Yeah, July 2021. What an era. So before the month before that, that's why this is remix for a Clubhouse story. But what a crazy time. Okay, now we're in May. Coffee done. Okay, let's see. I think I would like to get through... I don't know if I'll be able to get through April today. Let's see. Let's see if I can blow through May and April before I end the stream, because I do want to get some stuff done outside of this, and then I have to go to aerial yoga. I'm not streaming tomorrow because it's Andy's birthday. Everyone say happy birthday, Andy. Forgot to mute before drinking. I'm not muting before drinking. I know like some people have issues with like mouth sounds, and I feel, but let's see. Okay, May. Let's just open all these. Let me close lit. Yes, Marty, thank you for saying happy birthday to Andy. Okay, May. I interviewed John Bengston, who started Sunday Sites, which is a really cool community code jammy kind of thing. They're one of the inspirations for Glitch Code Jams. So if you go to sundaysites.cafe, they haven't had one in a year. A couple other people took it over. But you can look at past sessions and see all the apps that they made. I would like to start something similar to this, a social code jam. Once I get the candles, once I like after this month, I'll have made my candle store live. I would have shipped candles, and then I'm like, once I'm in that groove, then it's like, okay, I want to get back into actual like community code jam stuff. But that also involves being like, where can we build sites or whatever. So once the glitch jam stuff started, yeah. I lean away from the mic to drink. Anyway, Sunday sites. Okay. Snake 2 at Friends. Oh, okay. This is a remix of someone's Snake game. But I don't think I did anything with it. What is this Sunday Sites does? Sunday Sites is, or at least was, a monthly code jam where people would gather and write HTML. It was very much like an HTML, CSS, small web hackathon, if you will. No JavaScript, although I think they eventually allowed JavaScript. Automate as little as possible. And then they would share the sites like on here. And so you can see all the past sessions, and a lot of them were using Glitch. So a lot of it was like cool artsy stuff. Did you write your candle store from scratch or were you using a platform? Bugs Rock, as of 20 minutes before this stream, is now an 11T site, and the product listing sale part of it is using Equid, which are third-party, like they're JavaScript widgets. So I could just pop widgets into an existing web page. So I decided to go for that because, one, I know how to build a web page. I just need the like store components. And and it's just an alternative to just like letting Squarespace or Shopify like control everything. So yeah, let's see. Welcome to my guest book. Welcome to my guest book was a workshop I did early Glitch days where I taught people how to take a static web page and turn it into a dynamic, node-powered, web-styled guest book. So this is the outline for the entire workshop. In fact, this is important. This is Node, but I'm going to put it in archive. So I would go to conferences like Dinosaur.js and do glitch workshops, and everyone in the workshop would start with like the first one, where, I mean, this is the outline of the course. Instructor will talk about how glitch works, talk about what guest books are, guide students in logging into glitch, remixing the starter app I made, then using JavaScript to show table rows, allowing folks to post the guest book. And this is just like all the code to enter it. So this is the guide I wrote for myself to do the workshop, and I created this outline in a readable format so that other people, if they wanted to teach people how to make a static page node with a database, they can do that on Glitch. So that's welcome to my guest book. GSS starter React. GSS starter React Redux. To do. Really, really useful, helpful, whatever. Archiving it. Tangy. Testing for support. Okay, don't know what I'm testing, but speed test. It's just a speed test. This is an import from GitHub. Yeah. So I'm gonna download that into remixes because I didn't build it, but a community member did. I'm gonna archive it. Cool. So I had mentioned in a previous stream my CSV word cloud app and how I would copy and paste all the tags on Stack Overflow questions that included links to Glitch so that I can give people internally a visual idea of what people are talking about. And most of the questions by far in Stack Overflow were JavaScript related, and often overlapped with A-Frame, which is the WebVR JavaScript framework. So this is just a remix of that. Oh gosh, we're getting into like the fun, goofy stuff. By the way, if you're not subscribed, now's a good time to subscribe, because I might forget to tell you when I end this. And maybe like the video. Let's open... This is April now. And April... A whole new glitch. Is this when we launched the starters? Remix a whole new glitch. Oh yeah, we have the new starters, static website, full stack. Okay, this is when the new starters happen. 30 ways companies are using glitch. Going global. Q&A with Ben Morse, who used to be at Google. I don't think he's at Google anymore. Oh, the Ever Given Everywhere app went viral on Glitch. Garrett was, I was trying to remember his name the other day. So Garrett made the app where you can put the Suez Canal anywhere on a map. And that was fun. That was a fun time. Good times. Okay, first meme generator. Okay, I did this for Hoobastank too. This is a Twitch stream that I co-hosted with my pals Bijan Stevens, Mark Vigent, and Ryan Broderick. Carl St. Lucie was our producer, and I made this. This is the only good use of content editable. And then you can mix the image so you can download it. And then we were really into skulls. Our Discord unionized. That's what the skull union was. And so there's it comes up very lightly, but it says Skull Keepers Union, love to laugh. Poch, I believe you were a member. Yeah, Poch helped out with the Canvas screenshot. Yeah, we streamed every Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you're like, what is this union and can I be in it? The answer to both is yes. So that was a fun time. I'm gonna put that in .com. Skull yeah, brother. It was funny. Mark still has one of the members of the union, Gwigs, burned etched into like a log because he's a logger. He burned to a slice of log a skull, and Mark has it hanging out in there. The Hoops Who Discord is still there. I don't know. I don't know if I'm not gonna let's see. No thanks. I don't think anyone's updated it in a while. I think like the newest post is from like a year ago, and it was like Carl going ACAB on it. Maybe I should make a Discord. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if I want to deal with that, because I remember Bijan had a Discord, and it got really big, and so he made like a different Discord, I think, because the really big one, it just became very dramatic, and that's what I always get worried about. I get worried about like inviting a bunch of people in, and then like there being drama over something that like really like doesn't actually truly matter. And I'm the kind of person that's not afraid to tell someone, hey, I know this matters a lot to you, but it doesn't matter to me, so like either move on, or like either let's move forward or you move on. And a lot of people don't like to get challenged in that way, and then they move to like vicious personal attacks or lies even, and I'm too old for that shit. So that's why I haven't made a Discord yet. I've just seen it and gone to shit too much. Anyway, Go Mix Beta. Okay. Anil had once said to me, Jen, it's 2017, who has a tag cloud? And so I made this joke tag cloud. This is before we launched Glitch. So this literally was something for me to share internally, because me working at Fog Creek was not public until the Glitch rename and launch had happened. So that's definitely being saved. Catnip Zesty Paw. What is this? Remix for marketing and screenshots. Oh, I guess it's literally just an app that we screenshot for marketing reasons. Okay. Confusion, polydactyl castanet. I don't think this is anything. Welcome to my blog. I think this is just me demoing the 11D starter. And this is a suspended project. Probably because I was testing out some malice. Let's blow through April. We're almost at the end of this. Okay, this is another one, suspended. There's this kind of like fun thing where I would remix an app and then I would paste in malicious code. And like, if our tool worked on it, if I got the right, like, if I updated our tool correctly, eventually the editor would just say reconnecting, and I'm like, there we go, and then it'd be like, boom, you're suspended. It was thrilling. Sometimes I would get a report of like phishing, and I would go into the app and I would see that the creator of the app was in there editing, and I would quickly update the tool, or I would suspend the project manually, and I would be in there with them as it got suspended. That was also thrilling. This is just more remixes. I don't know if I'll ever have a job where I can do catching and like mitigating wide-scale abuse again. I don't think anyone, like, I think like AI is going to replace that, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing depending on who's the arbiter of it. Trying web hints. What? I forgot what hint is. Oh, linting tool. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. So it's just like a starter for trying out that linter. Okay. Woo. I'm gonna download that. Potch remembers malice. That was like a big, a significant part of my job was keep looking out for and getting rid of as much malice as possible. Which is why when people would find phishing and they'd be like, you're not doing anything about phishing. It's not true at all. I quite literally lost hair over mitigating abuse. Again, like I mentioned before, malice on the internet is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And that takes me to... Oh, GSS is generated static site. Okay, I was like, what does GSS stand for? Anyway. That takes me to March. So we got from July 2021 to March. So we've got Q1 of 2021 left. I think that's a good place to end the stream today. I will not be streaming tomorrow because it's Andy's birthday. And happy birthday, Andy. Yay. But I'll probably be back Monday? Let's see. Let's look at the sketch. June 9th. Oh, Tuesday's Jersey script. If you're in the New York, New Jersey area, the second Tuesday of the month, we meet up at a bar nearby. And I'm hosting this time because it's Dan's daughter's birthday, so he's got to go do that. Yeah. I'll probably be back Monday. Maybe same time. Can we make some project on the next stream? I would like to get through all the 2021 apps first. But next week we'll definitely start trying out other services to move glitch apps to. There's a couple that are mentioned in the forum. Let me put display share. Whoops. Ooh, there's an update. As we shared the community, Glitch app hosting will be ending on July 8th, and that announcement we promised to update our Glitch Pro members of your subscriptions. Here are the details you need to know. If you had an active subscription on June 1st, you'll retain full Glitch Pro status through the end of project hosting on July 8th. We've already applied a coupon in Stripe for all Glitch Pro members to ensure that there will be no new charges from June 1st on. If you were charged, please reach out to us at support@glitch.com so you get taken care of for you. Before project hosting is sunset on July 8th, we will issue prorated refunds for any annual subscribers covering all charges for services from June 1st. Like I mentioned above, if you have any issues with your Glitch Pro account being properly refunded or credited, please email us so our team can help you out. That's cool. And I imagine they emailed all Glitch Pro users. So there you go. Because it was funny. They like when they announced project hosting, and the next day people were like, oh, but actually, I think like Andy like the next day got a like your Glitch Pro is renewed, which is valid. There's still a month ago, but in the migration discussion, people have been sharing where they're moving their glitch apps to, and I want to start exploring those. So like Railway was mentioned. I think Render's one. I'm not using Cloudflare. Too fascist for my own blood. I use DigitalOcean for my static sites. I'll probably create a droplet running Node for that stuff. Supabase, Firebase. Yeah, we'll start looking at them. But yeah, Monday's probably going to be finishing 2021. Because I have we all just have just about a month to like see these apps actually running. But yeah, so go to support.glitch.com if you have questions or if you have like places that you've moved your apps to or are thinking about. Everyone's talking about that stuff there. If you have any issues, go there. And I hope you all have a good rest of your Thursday, your Friday, and the weekend. And I'll see you next week on glitch.com. So, bye-bye.